What's going on, everybody? He is I'm him. It's your main man, Chi. Back at it. This is a quick take. As you can tell, I'm in the studio, but I'm on the production side. I'm not on the set side. I wanted to just get on here real quick. A lot has been going on. First things first, I want to just let everybody know there is an episode before this one. It is the audio that I will be dropping. I hope that y'all check that audio out. I'm working on the video. There's just some little errors that's going on with the video. It's the episode with me and my brother. Shout out to my brother. His birthday was on the 2nd of January, which we're going to get into that date in particular. But we covered the Brittany Griner return home, and we talked about Prime. We talked about Dion leaving Jackson State, going over to Colorado, University of Colorado. So we did talk about those things. That episode will be dropping probably before this one, but probably not. We'll figure this out. So you may have got that audio by now. If not, make sure you check it out when it does drop. Now, I hope everybody had a blessed new year, a happy holiday. It's been a while since I've been on here. Ironically enough, this time last year, I was reamping So in the Meantime, and ironically enough, this time now, fast forward, I am back with another holiday recap, but also with some news. I won't be getting the real good news yet, but let's jump right into it. I hope everybody, like I said, I hope everybody had a blessed holiday. If you are from the city of Buffalo, if you are watching this and you live in the city of Buffalo, you know that we did not have the merriest of Merry Christmases. We were hit with Winter Storm Elliott. I was fortunate enough that my apartment did not lose no power. We didn't lose anything. We were safe. I happen to be sick. I'm actually in the process of recovering, which is another reason why I wanted to do so much content over that break of not having, like, being stuck in home. I wanted to do so much, but I was sick and I didn't have my memory card. Yeah, sucks. But for those that lost their loved ones in the midst of this horrific storm, my thoughts and prayers are definitely out with you. I believe that the count is 40 plus that have lost their lives in the storm. Just heartbreaking to see. I mean, I had to unplug from the Matrix because I was seeing things, and I'm one of those people that I can't see dead bodies. I can't see death. If somebody's recording death, I cannot watch it. I don't understand the premise of it. I've always thought that was something that I just thought was very weird. But I do believe and I do understand that they did say that the reason why they were doing it was because they were trying to use social media to identify these bodies. Um, I mean, I have my own personal opinion on that matter. Like, I feel though as if instead of posting on social media, contact the authorities, whatever the case may be. But just seeing, just a brief glimpse that I seen of that really hurt me, and to see the people on social media begging and just asking, pleading for help, it really struck a nerve to me. So anybody that was affected by it, my thoughts and prayers go out to you. I know my career path was hit by it. Um, the job that I'm in now, the field that I'm in now was hit massive with it. So we had to we're recovering from that, and it's not gonna be it's gonna be a process. It's gonna be a long process to get back to normal over there. But I'm whatever I can do, and whatever I've been doing to try to help out, I've been doing that. So um with all that being said, man, in the midst of the chaos, when the storm ended, we all know what happened. People resorted to looting. People resorted to um, destroying stores. And I took high offense to that. The reason I took offense to that is because I felt though as if, what was the reason? I get if you don't have the food, pantries, things like that, like things that you need to survive. But going into stores to loot TVs, to loot jewelry, to loot all this stuff is like, this is a reason why businesses don't want to deal with the city. That's just my personal opinion. That's the reason why a lot of businesses go outside of the city. They stay outside of the city because of that reason alone. And I'm not just saying just in this city. I'm just saying in general. A lot of businesses don't really want to be around places that they're not gonna be safe, or they feel like they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose stuff. So, um, I wish that that wasn't the case. I wish that we, as a people, were not doing that. Um, I say we as a people because if anybody knows me, I always refer to us. I don't single nobody out. I say we, you know, especially my people, you know. But I was told that it wasn't just my people, it was everyone. So, us as a race, as the human race, need to do better. So, obviously, we're in a new year. We're in the year 2023. Um, and a lot of people have been deeming this the year of the greatness, the year of the GOAT, because 23 and, everybody knows it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So I have to deal with that all year. Yay. um, but also, the church that I once attended that I still feel like I'm a member of. I just haven't been there in a very long time, but I still watch. I still watch it. Zion Dominion Global Ministries, ran by the Honorable Bishop Roderick L. Hennings. Uh, every year they have a theme. Last year was the year to launch. This year is very fitting for this city in particular, especially after what happened on Monday, but the events that happened last year, we were struck. We were hurt, we were hit, we were taken back, and it's a long road to recovery. And that is the theme of 2023, the year of the recovery. We don't lose, we learn. Very powerful. I watched his New Year's Eve celebration service, and basically just him just speaking on the essence of getting back, healing, recovering, and getting back everything that you thought you lost and more, and all the blessings and everything that you have coming your way. This will be the year. I believe in that. I believe that this city, especially this city, is something monumental is going to happen this year for this city. I'm believing that. I believe that there's a lot of things that's going to shake in my life that is going to change a lot. Like this whole time during the storm, I had my time to really sit back and really think. And that's one thing that I did is I sat back and I asked myself, what is it? Like, what do I need to do? And visions became clearer for me. I started to realize stuff. I had a few conversations with a few people in my circle about what I vision, what I see, goals that I have in mind, and what I'm looking forward to doing in the new year. So be on the lookout. Road to Recovery, the year of the recovery. Like I said, we don't lose, we learn. Speak of recovery. Speak of the road to recovery. January 2nd. Not only is that my brother's birthday, but it is a day that is going to live in the sports world, in the football world. As you all are aware, if you have been paying attention to the news, because it's not just a sports news, it is nationwide news. Cincinnati Bengals Monday night was going against the Buffalo Bills in a highly anticipated game. There was a lot that was online. There was a lot at stake for this game. Who was going to be closer to clinching the number one spot between them. It's a three-headed race with the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals. And these two played against each other, and we were going to find out kind of what was going to be the course going into the last week of the season, which is this Sunday. This will probably be dropping Monday or Sunday. So tomorrow or, yesterday, whichever one. But a lot was on the line. A lot was on the line with this game. And early in the first quarter, if you are unfamiliar with what happened, T. Higgins was tackled by Bills safety Damar Hamlin. And Damar, after he tackled him, instantly got up. And within seconds, he was back on the ground. Um, we all know the medical staff came out there. They were performing CPR, something that nobody from the years that I've been watching football, and even when I wasn't watching football, I've never seen them do this to a player, having to perform this. Seeing the Bills players on the sideline, seeing them on the field crying, seeing a look on Josh Allen's face that you never want to see. Seeing Stephon Diggs crying, seeing the whole team crying, seeing some of the Bengals even crying. It was a scary sight. It was a scary sight. But all things, Damar Hamlin, he's on his way to recovery. He is breathing on his own now. He had a breathing tube, got the breathing tube taken out. He's breathing on his own. He's talking. When he gained consciousness, or when he was able to speak, the first thing he asked was, did we win the game? So his brain, he still remembered. And the doctor said that you won. You won the game of life. And hearing that, and hearing that, he's been, responding and talking to his family and doing things like that. The barbershop that I go to, even though y'all probably gonna be like, why you get a barber? You're bald headed. Listen, I don't do this. Okay. I don't. I let the professionals do it. But the barbershop that I go to, Signature Cuts, which is the official home of the Buffalo Bills, is the official barbers of the Buffalo Bills. They were, really hit by this because, they met him, a few of them had cut Damar's hair. So they were taken back by it. The whole city was taken back by it. The whole country was taken back by this injury. But he's on his way to recovery. The whole league is doing something for him, or have done something for him, depending on when you are watching this. I'm just glad to see that this man is still alive, that he's still breathing, that he is still able to have life. That's the one thing that I just, you did not want to get that news that he didn't make it. So on this Monday, the one of the faces of FS1, Fox Sports 1, Skip Bayless, who I've followed since he did Cold Pizza. Okay. Since he's done Cold Pizza, to First and 10, to First Take. I followed Skip. Okay. Skip is the reason why I got into the debate shows. He's the godfather of debate shows, sports debate shows. There wouldn't be Undisputed, obviously, without Skip Bayless. There would not be a brother from another if it wasn't for the Skip Bayless, Mike and Mike. First things first, speak. None of these shows would be possible if it wasn't for Skip Bayless doing First Take, First and 10, transforming it to First Take. If it wasn't for him. But Skip Bayless took to Twitter and tweeted the following tweet. Now, mind you, Skip Bayless tweeted 3 times. Okay, he tweeted 3 times. Now, with that being said, let's read the first one. Not exactly sure what happened to Damar Hamlin. Players on both teams are shaken. Ambulance out on the field. CPR administrated. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. Just said a prayer for him and his family. That was the first tweet. You seen it right there. Tweet number 2. I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this. In other situations I've witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football. For these players, this was different. And then the tweet heard round the world. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season's outcome, which seems so irrelevant. Since that tweet has been viewed 167 million times, liked 44.8 thousand likes, 44.8 likes, 4,380 retweets, and 108,000 comments. So, Skip Bayless tweeted this, and some of the people who responded to this tweet, Kendra Perkins, you're a sick individual, real talk. Another person says, you have no shame. One of my favorite female sports reporters, Ashley Nicole Moss, said, you're so gross. Isaiah Thomas, not Hall of Fame Isaiah Thomas. The other one, I hope they fire you, bro. For you to even think of the game is very sad. Darrell Revis, all you care about is the game when Damar Hamlin's life is at risk. Coming from you, I expect more. This tweet is not. You of all people should know better, bro. Patrick Peterson responded to that saying, come on. So clearly, Skip ruffled some feathers. He ruffled some feathers. Me and my cousins, we were in our group chat. We were talking about the play. We were talking. I seen this. I think my cousin Russ is the one that initially showed me the tweet. And it was like, here we go. Now, when I initially read it, I was thinking the same thing everybody else thought. what the fuck, Skip? What the fuck? And then I was seeing other people saying, y'all taking it out of context, y'all not understanding. I mean, look at what he said. He said it at the end. Like, it's irrelevant. Everything that I just said in the beginning is irrelevant. We have to focus on the now. We have to focus on this matter right here. But what Skip failed to realize, and what people are failing to realize, not Skip. Skip knew what he was doing. And I'm going to explain why. I am a communication major, okay? I am a communication major. I study communication. And perception, yeah, it's key. Other people will interpret this tweet however they want to interpret it. Okay, you are going to interpret it how you want to interpret it. What Skip did, Skip knew what he was doing. Hence, why Skip, if you look back at the tweet right here, those 3 dots have so much meaning behind it. It does. I remember when I was in a relationship, and whenever something bothered me, I would just text 3 dots. Or if we're talking and and she says something and I did not like it, or I was already upset, or I just had nothing to say, 3 dots. And anytime she's seen the 3 dots, she knew. To the point that she started doing the 3 dots. It became a trademark for us. It was, you see oh boy. Like, it was one of those. So I know when Skip tweeted, because when Skip tweeted the first part of that text, that tweet, he meant that. And you will hear him say it later on. He meant that. So he cared about the game more than he did this man's life. And then when he read it, he thought of it and said, and you'll hear it. You'll hear it. But he thought of it and said, let me throw this in there just to diffuse this. I don't want y'all to think that this is who I am. I don't want y'all to think that. I don't want y'all to think that all I care about is sports, even though all he cares about is sports. That's all he cares about. He don't care about nothing else. His wife has a book about it. Skip Bayless. The book is called Balls: How to Keep Your Relationship Alive When You Live with a Sports-Obsessed Guy. This man has told his ex-wife or his ex-girlfriend at the time, you will always be second to my career. You will never be first. You will never be first. This is what he has said. This is what this man has said to his ex. And he said it to Ernestine. But Ernestine, bless her heart, she accepts it. But Skip has said that Ernestine is like 1B, but 1A is always going to be sports. It's always going to be his job. So Skip Bayless comes on to Undisputed the next day and addressed these. He addressed it. Let's go ahead.
So at that point, I had tweeted twice already. My first tweet ended with that I just said a prayer for Damar and his family. My second tweet was about so many horrific injuries, but this is very different, in all caps. And then came my third tweet, which I believe was widely misconstrued, misinterpreted. I don't follow what's happening on Twitter. I just tweet. But my boss here at Fox called and said, hey, people are really reacting strongly to your tweet. Maybe you should clarify, which I immediately did. But my first tweet was simply, as a journalist, I was putting myself in the heads of the NFL executives, starting with Roger Goodell, who are having to figure out on the fly what to do here. And I stated the glaringly obvious, which is that no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game. This is right in the middle of the vortex of this situation when it was unclear what they were going to do with the game. But I made the point that this late in the season, that with a game of this magnitude, it's very difficult to postpone it. Yet the end of my tweet was, all of which suddenly seems so irrelevant. For the first time in the history of the NFL, my point was, it was all rendered irrelevant by what was happening on the football field in front of all those football players, those gladiators, those warriors. They were shaken to their foundations. So I immediately didn't retweet, I just clarified. And I'll state it again, nothing is more important than that young man's health.
So Skip goes back, he comes back on, you hear what he said. Now, Shannon Sharpe wasn't there. He wasn't there. And a lot of people were trying to understand or try to put pieces to the puzzle together, like, oh, is Shannon Sharpe done with Undisputed? Is this the straw that broke the camel's back? And he says, no, he's not coming back, and they need to just fire Skip and blah, 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 blah. Right. I'm like, Shannon Sharpe probably had to take a seat back. I think he had to take a seat back. I think that it was too close to home, seeing those if he's a former football player. I mean, we seen Ryan Clark in tears that night speaking on it, because Ryan Clark had to fight for his life. Not to this level, but he was sidelined for some time, and he was sitting there, not knowing what was going to happen, But then Wednesday comes around and Shannon Sharpe comes back. Shannon Sharpe comes back and he addresses his absence. And I want y'all to pay attention, because we're going to get into the shits after this.
Shannon, I understand. It's something you want to Sports here this morning.
Good morning, yes.
Morning.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture, innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let me.
I didn't know you were going to bring up this.
No, I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No, clearly the bosses wanted you to offer explanation. So clearly, somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with Damar Hamlin.
That's where the focus should have been, and not on the football game. Yes, let's go, Jen. Thank you.
I remember when I watched this, I don't miss a day of Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe and Skip. The only time I don't watch Undisputed is when Shannon and Skip are not there. When I was watching this, and when Skip interrupted, I can tell the body language on Shannon Sharpe. He wasn't, you have to read the room. Skip is very bad at reading the room. Skip interrupted, and you heard what he said. So this is why I said he stands by what he said. He even said it. He even said it. Now, before I dive into my thoughts on the relationship between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, let me talk about why the tweet and the timing of it was just poor. It's poor. There was no empathy there. There was nothing. It was just like he just was only thinking on the game. And why it's very ironic that same Monday, they were talking about the Giants linebacker. It's a Giants rookie defensive player who sacked Nick Foles and was doing the snow angel, and then did the Steph Rockabye Baby. And then later on tweeted a gif or a meme or Smokey saying, "You got knocked the fuck out," right? Here's the catch. Nick Foles was out, injured, and he's still doing this. And when he tweeted this, they were talking about it. And Shannon and him was like, you shouldn't have done it. You got to have sympathy. You got to have empathy for your fellow, colleague, damn near, because they're all working for the NFL. Regardless of the matter, you have to care for what happens to the guy, the player. I know Jeff Saturday said it was tasteless, and a lot of players, a lot of people were saying it was very tasteless of him to do that, seeing as if Nick Foles was injured and still on the ground. But Skip and them were saying the same thing. And then for Skip to turn around and do this, it was kind of like, you look like a hypocrite. Also, Skip has mentioned, and because I watched Skip for a very long time, I know Skip doesn't read his tweets. He doesn't. He just tweets. That's all he does. He don't reply to tweets. He just tweets. But I also remember, I believe Skip and them had the idea, I think Mike and Mike might have had the idea too, of there being something, and even numerous people have said this, that they would love for Twitter to have like a 40-second delay before the tweet becomes live. So then you can read it over. Oh shit, let me change this. Let me stop it from being sent because it comes off insensitive. It comes off offensive. It comes off a certain way. And I don't want them to feel like that. So let me just, yeah. None of that was the case. Skip Bayless does not care. He doesn't. When Shannon Sharpe mentioned his brother, when I heard him say it brought him back to when he's seen his brother laying on the ground, paralyzed, but regained mobility. The minute he said that, I was like, it triggered him. It put him back into this space. It brought him back to this moment. And he didn't want to be a part of that. And when he seen the tweet, because either executives contacted him or friends contacted him or people on Twitter was contacting him. Unc, what up with your man? Shannon, what up with your man? This is what was going on. They were sending this. So, if Shannon Sharpe sat there and read that tweet, Shannon Sharpe probably felt the same way. And he did, because he said, I didn't agree with what he said. But then he said, I wish that he would have took it down. And that's when Skip said, nah, I stand by my word, not taking it down. And then that's when you see them butting heads. And that's why I feel like Shannon didn't go on Tuesday. Because I feel though as if Shannon would have either walked off the set or worse. That's the least dangerous thing that Shannon could have done, is walk off the set. The worst, we can only imagine. But this tension has been brewing. It's been brewing. And it dates back to this.
Still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Skip, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what I got to see what you do? You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal...
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your dignity.
You disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off, bro.
I'm going to have at it because I'm going to have at you.
I remember that episode. And I remember seeing how tense and how the tension in that room across the table, you can sense it from home. Skip Bayless basically took Shannon Sharpe's career, in my opinion, put it in a box and put it to get set on fire and just watch his career go up in flames. That's what it felt like when he did that. And I say that because you don't take a man's career, and if you know Shannon Sharpe's story, period, you will understand why he got offended when he said, I don't care that you're in the Hall of Fame. You're not better than Tom Brady. Shannon Sharpe is arguably the best receiving tight end in NFL history. Okay, I know there's Gronk, and there's Kelsey, and there's Kittle, and there was Gates, and there was Antonio Gonzalez, but Shannon Sharpe revolutionized the tight end position in the NFL. And he made it cool to be the tight end. He was a trash talking tight end. He had the persona. He had the attitude. Shannon was that guy, okay? And coming from his background and coming from where he came from, and just seeing how that's why everybody loves him, because they call him Unc. That's just because it's Shannon Sharpe. And for Skip Bayless to basically say your 3 Super Bowls, your Hall of Fame credentials, your Hall of Fame stature it don't matter. Now, mind you, Skip Bayless has said that the Pro Football Hall of Fame is the toughest Hall of Fame to get in. I mean, T.O. was on his last leg before he got in. A few others was on their last leg before they got in. So, yes, it is a tough Hall of Fame to get in. I feel like some may be bullshit, but it's tough. But for Skip to discredit this man's accomplishments to benefit Thomas, I'm not even going to say what Skip says, to boost up Tom Brady. You're sick. You're sick. You will belittle your co-host, a person that you call a friend, a colleague, to boost another man. But this has opened up a can of worms, because we've had people like Marcellus Wiley come on the record and saying, which I agree with. I don't agree with a lot of what Marcellus has to say, but I will agree with this. We are watching in real time the battle of two alpha males. I will agree with that. Because when he said that, it made me think, and I started thinking about a few things. I thought about First Take. First Take was originally all about Skip. And it was about Skip and Skip's love for Tim Tebow and Skip's love for the Cowboys and Skip's love or dislike for LeBron and his love for Michael Jordan and Tom Brady and all these other people, right? But then Stephen A came around. And when Stephen A came around, Stephen A became more popular. Stephen A became more of the face. People were more tuning into First Take to see Stephen A. Smith, not Skip Bayless. They wanted to see Stephen A go at it with Skip Bayless and get into Skip Bayless, like get in his ass. That's what they wanted to see. That's what they wanted to see. Skip felt away. He's like, hey, I can't do no more here, and left. But I think he left because he was no longer the face of the show. And Stephen A was the face. He goes to FS1. He gets undisputed. I only want to work with one person. Shannon Sharpe said it. Shannon Sharpe was like, Skip said he will only do the show if I got Shannon Sharpe. So here we are. And now, Shannon Sharpe is becoming the face of Undisputed. Everybody tunes in for Shannon Sharpe. They don't tune in for Skip Bayless. You also notice the moderators. First it was Joy, then it was Jenny Taft, now it's Jen Haley. But Jen Haley, I believe, is based in New Orleans, so she's not there on set. But Jenny Taft was one. If y'all remember, Jenny Taft and Skip got into it. And if you follow her on Twitter, or if you follow Shannon Sharpe on Twitter, she tweeted Shannon the day of the blow up and said it was the day of the blow up, but it was the day, that same day, Shannon Sharpe posted the following. He posted the following. You see it right here. And that, I believe, is from his brother, because it says on his Instagram, it says, my bro just sent me this. He doesn't show or share a lot of emotion with me. Over the last month, he sent more text messages and voice messages than ever. He sees the little boy that he helped raise, that was quick-tempered, ready to fight, become every person he mentioned. He saw in me and wanted me to become. God has a plan for Shay. No one can stop it. 2023, the year of Shay. Sit back and watch. As I said before, the road to recovery. Last year, at the end of the tail end, at the fourth quarter, that's what I refer to it as, the fourth quarter, Skip tried to discredit, tried to maim, tried to take away the one thing that I think mattered more to Shannon Sharpe than anything else, and that is his stature, his Hall of Fame credentials. Even though he has the jacket, he's like, I don't care because you're jealous of Tom Brady because of Tom Brady's success. And if you've been watching Undisputed, you've been noticing that there's been tension ever since then. It even got to the point where Shannon Sharpe revealed that most of the topics that come up on Undisputed are off of your tweets. Shannon Sharpe pulled the curtain back into how the production is done for the show. How it's your show. I may not want to discuss the shit that you discuss. But okay, we'll do it. There's something to be said about a man that can sit across from someone that you really just do not like, but y'all have to do a job. And Skip says it all the time. Now, mind you, Skip addressed the Hall of Fame controversy. He addressed it on his show, but he never apologized to Shannon Sharpe. He just said, brothers fight. That's all he said. Said, brothers fight. He's his best competitor. He's his best debater. But didn't apologize if he offended Shannon Sharpe. And as a man, you're not going to apologize if you may have offended someone. That says a lot about Skip. Matt Barnes, another one who was open about it, to the point that Matt Barnes dropped a video. This is the video.
Top of the morning. I haven't really spoke on this Skip Bayless situation because I wanted to see if he had any remorse after what he said Monday. And, you know, obviously what he said. First of all, Skip is a professional in this realm. Was very highly respected. And it's put in years of work. So, you know, when people say, you know, read the whole tweet, he said the game was irrelevant. He knew he had to put that at the end of the bullshit he was saying, hoping that we didn't see through the bullshit. Because how he truly felt was his original first sentence, that how can they even cancel this? There's too much of them. That's how he really felt. But he's very intelligent, and he knew that if he put, you know, somehow this game seems irrelevant now, that some people wouldn't see through his bullshit and arrogance and blatant disrespect for Damar. Fast forward that, I just feel of late he's been very, very, very disrespectful and out of pocket, and that's normal, but he's been that way to Shannon. And you could see Shannon bite his tongue. You can see him, you know, do deep breaths from not jumping across that table and wringing that man's neck. But I think Skip's day is coming. And it may not be from a firing standpoint, because, you know, we know white men in this profession can kind of get away and do with, you know, what they want. Just is what it is. And it makes good TV. Remember, controversy sells. So, of course, Fox are going to want to keep those type of ratings. But I know personally, that I've had to diffuse two situations, one with the coach and one with the NBA player. They wanted to fuck Skip up. Personally, I've had to do it. One was this year, one was last year. But personally, I had to reach out to Unc and set up a conversation for people who wanted to fuck Skip up. But, you know, luckily cooler heads have prevailed. But, I mean, I just see it's just gone too far, in my opinion. And again, Shannon's had a lot of love, or does have a lot of love for Dude, but you could even see Shannon's fed up. And someone's going to end up hurting Skip, because his ego, his arrogance, his disrespect has kind of always been on this level, but now I think it's going to a new level. And now he's disrespecting his co-host and Shannon, and again, someone, you know, they've had a great working relationship over the years, but this dude Skip is all bad, and he thinks that he could say and do what he wants, and there isn't going to be any repercussions. And there may not be no repercussions from his job, but someone is going to run up on Skip and hurt this man. I don't know if it's going to be in 2023 or 2024, but it's coming.
Now, this platform, I do not promote, I'm not endorsing, I am not encouraging no form of violence, none whatsoever. I will say, Skip knows this. And if you watch or if you listen to his show, his podcast on YouTube, the Skip Bayless Show, he has made reference to him not being allowed to go home to Oklahoma because of Russell Westbrook. Because the year of Miami and OKC in the finals, he tells a story about how they needed to get extra security for Skip because the people of Oklahoma City wanted to harm Skip Bayless. Russell Westbrook himself wanted to harm Skip Bayless. People in Russell Westbrook's camp wanted to harm Skip Bayless. I don't know what is going to be the straw that is going to break the camel's back and cause someone to do some harm to Skip. I do not want to even see it. But I have a gut feeling that if something happens to Skip, it is going to be live on TV. We've never seen, I think the last time we might have seen a commentator get harmed by somebody might have been when Vince hit Bob Costa. I think it was Vince who hit Bob Costa. I can't recall correctly. Please let me know in the comments if y'all remember the last time that a sports person, a media journalist, or a sports journalist was interviewing an athlete or interviewing somebody and they got harmed on the set. Do I believe that this is the end of Undisputed? I believe this is the end of Undisputed as we see it. I don't think that when Shannon Sharpe's contract comes up, Shannon Sharpe is going to renew his contract. What I will say is I don't see Shannon Sharpe going to ESPN. That's what a lot of people are saying. He should go to ESPN. I know my brother has said that at one point. No. I think Skip is going to leave. I actually think we're going to get Stephen A. and Skip reunited one more time for one last shot. But I think Shannon Sharpe is going to eventually have his own show. He might make Club Shay Shay into... No, I wouldn't. I thought about that. I wouldn't make Club Shay Shay a Fox, a FS1 show. Because, I mean, he be cursing on there. So, you know, like, the first time I ever heard him say curse was when he just had Jay Farrow on there not too long ago. And he said, why the fuck you make fun of me? Like, so I wouldn't want that. You know, you get Shannon. I think Shannon's in his element at Club Shay Shay. I think that's his element. That's his environment. But I would like to see Shannon Sharpe do something else outside of Undisputed. I agree with Matt Barnes. I think Skip has overstepped his boundaries. I think Skip has gone a little overboard. I don't want nothing happening to Skip, but it's becoming a lot of cringe. It's beginning to get cringeworthy. I can't stand when Skip starts to do his Like when he starts to do that, it's just like, it's childlike. It's very childish, especially when Shannon Sharpe is talking. Like when you're talking, imagine that. Imagine you having a conversation with someone. You're having a serious conversation with your significant other. Your significant other is sitting there going, like, just imagine that. Imagine how that would make you feel. Or you're having an important conversation with a team member, a work partner, whoever, and they're doing that. How would you feel? So, it's a wait and see what happens from here on. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in the playoffs, especially with the Dallas Cowboys and Tom Brady, to see how this conversation goes with Skip and Shannon Sharpe. Because it gets very heated when they talk about, especially Tom Brady. Cowboys not really that much. I think he gets a joy and a kick out of the misery of the Cowboys. But listen, y'all, that's all I have. I've spent an hour, roughly about an hour on this. But I do want to thank everybody for tuning in to this episode. I thought it was going to be a quick take, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It's not a quick take. So, yeah. But be on the lookout. I do have a major announcement coming out as far as the state of this particular podcast. So in the meantime, if y'all, like, I remember I said it before, if y'all remember, when I first introduced this, I said it wasn't going to be temporary. It wasn't going to be permanent. It was just temporary. So be on the lookout. That announcement will be coming in the first quarter of the year. So we have roughly 2.5 months left. So you'll be hearing about that and then jump starting into, what's next. But for the meantime, if you happen to like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this whole situation with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Your thoughts on, the situation with Damar Ham. I know a lot of people was going at T. Higgins. Y'all needed to stop doing that. Bart Scott, you corny for that. A lot of people need to not get at T. Higgins about this, man. T. Higgins, it was an accident. It was a freak accident, man. It was a freak accident. But leave your comments. Like this video. Like I said, hit the like button. If you are new to this channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And make sure that you are getting your notifications on when there's more videos, more content is dropping. Videos like this, movie reviews for the other stuff I do. This channel has it all. I have the Royal Club Wrestling Podcast that is on here. I have this podcast on here. I have my reactions to movies, trailers, video games, whatever you want me to do a reaction to. If it is something that I would do a reaction to, I would do a reaction to it. But just let me know. I'm always open to watching new trailers, watching new reactions, things like that. I'll give y'all my opinion on it. And I'm looking to do some other things too. So he is I am him. It's your main man, Chi. I'm out. Be blessed. Be safe. Remember, this is the year of recovery. We don't lose. We learn. I'm out. Later.